Hello, Slicey Dicers. This is Brian with another knife review for you. Today we have the Zero Tolerance 0308, or the ZT0308, as we will all call it for sure. This is a big stonker and a very interesting knife. I've mixed opinions, but they've become a lot more positive since actually getting it in my hands. Came out 2020, brand new model. A lot of people right off the bat did not care much for the hole in here. We'll talk about that extensively. You can see through it. There's my little hands. And a bit with the color choice. I don't mind that as much. I actually don't mind tan or brown. I think it looks okay. And primarily, though, it's the weight. This thing is 7.1 ounces according to my scale. So it is a big stonker, absolutely for sure. I do think they could have done some things to make that weight different, but $300, also not inexpensive, and kind of a lot for G10, but G10 does work in a lot of kind of work-a-day sort of situations. Now, you are getting 20 CV steel, as you're getting on most CTs nowadays. It is an in-house design, as you can see indicated by that little Star Wars-y looking logo there. Titanium frame lock on one side, as I said. It does have a full liner on the other side and a G10 over top of that. So it's definitely a heavy-duty built knife. This pivot, a lot of people ask if that is proprietary hardware. It is not. You can just use a 1/2-inch wrench on either side to get it apart. This is a loaner from USA Made Blade. Thank you very much to them for loaning it to me, so I did not take it apart. I just want to say that before we start the video proper. But a very large knife. Let's demonstrate that with some specs and some size comparisons, shall we? You have an overall length of 8.9 inches, blade length of 3 3/4 inches, blade thickness of 0.16 inches, handle thickness of 0.61, and as I said, 7.1 ounces according to my scales. So pretty big knife. I'm not even going to compare it to the 3-inch knives like I usually do. We're just going to bring out two of our usuals, and then we'll go into some larger stuff. So here it is against your Spyderco Paramilitary 2 and your Benchmade full-size Griptilian. Yeah, it's pretty big. Now, some more appropriate stuff. We'll bring out this is the new Benchmade Presidio 2, the full-size biggin with CF Elite handles. Pretty similar in overall length to the Presidio 2, just a little bit longer. And probably even more appropriate, the Cold Steel 8010, which you will probably see a battle to the death between these two before this goes back to USA Made Blade, because it kind of makes sense other than price. Maybe I should just do all three. Put in the comments down below. Maybe I should just do all three. Do a three-way battle to the death. At the time I'm putting this out, everybody's stuck at home, so why not? Maybe we'll do a three-way battle to the death with these three, because they are both meant to be big, heavy-duty, users. So, and also, I'm going to bring out another, we'll leave this one out. I'm going to bring out another Cold Steel. This thing is so big, it doesn't even look that horribly out of place or dwarfed or intimidated by a Cold Steel Formax. This is the Formax Scout, but they're all the same size. Yeah, This is a large knife. It's not dramatically smaller than a Formax. The camera angle makes them look even closer, but it is not dramatically smaller. When you're looking at, line these up really quick, you're looking at what? Yeah, like an inch, almost dead on, and maybe even a little bit less than an inch shorter than a Formax. So it's big. It's big for sure. Let's talk about this knife. The blade on this thing is actually pretty excellent. Yes, it does have a pretty thick blade stock, 0.16, but it's about 25 thousandths behind the edge. Not crazy. Very consistent grinds. I was measuring behind the edge in 3 places, and it was all almost exactly the same. And very high flat grind. It actually slices extremely well. Not bad at all. I have really no complaints there. Good robust tip on it, as you'd expect. Sharpening choil's done pretty good. I have no complaints about the blade. It's a really freaking nice blade, and ZT's 20 CV has always been good to me, so I'm not going to complain there. Again, this is not mine, so I didn't go out and beat the snot out of it, but I really do like the blade on this. It is an excellent blade, and I think for its intended purposes is a great, just simple shape. It's going to be good. Excuse me. Ergonomically, very comfortable. Zero complaints there. I do like this jimping is in just the right spot, and great place to lay your thumb. You have plenty of room to move around with this kind of almost harpoony sort of thing on the top there. Not bad. It's really comfortable. And the G10 is grippy, but not super grippy, but it's fine. And it's also continued, that texturing is continued over on the lock side, which I think looks really great. That milling does look really cool. And yeah, it's pretty comfortable. Can't really complain too much about that. As far as the carry goes, unique pocket clip on this one. It does not have the usual ZT 2-hole pocket clip. I don't know if that's because this is a heavier knife. Maybe they wanted to put something a bit more robust on it, whatever. But it is the same exact hole pattern as I went and drug one out as the Benchmade. This is the Benchmade. I grabbed this one. It's one of the penis clips, but I have a lot of the penis clips. Don't say that sentence in mixed company. I apologize for that, but it's just a fact. That's what we call these clips, and I have a lot of them. So I'm just stating a thing. Let's move on and forget that I said that. But I'm leaving it in the video. I don't care. Unintentional hilarity. But yeah, it does carry okay. It's not great, obviously. 7.1 ounces. That's a lot of weight. And but as far as actually fitting in the pocket, I feel like this could be angled a bit different. I feel like if it was more like over like that, it wouldn't be as bad. It wants to just sit like way over here. So it does take up a lot of room, but you know, the flipper tab is very well concealed and it's nothing sharp you're putting your hand by. It's not horrible. I'll show you how much room it takes up in the pocket here. You can definitely get your hand past it in Yale Wranglers, but that's a lot compared to a lot of other knives that I carry. Again, you look at the stats, see 7.0 ounces. You're not expecting it to be the most comfortable carry in the world. It is not deep carry, but like I showed you, there are Benchmade clips that will fit it. You can get a ton of Benchmade deep carry clips from many different people if you want that. But I don't think on a knife like this, you really need the deep carry. I am a deep carry guy, but on a big stonker like this, I don't really care as much. If I'm carrying this, I'm probably not too worried about people seeing it. You're going to choose something else. You probably have other knives in your collection that are better if you want something more discreet. It does slide in and out very easily, by the way. Now, the action on this, pretty good. I'm wondering, anybody wants to comment down below, anybody else who owns this. This is my first experience with the detent on this one is pretty stiff. I don't know if that's just this one or if they're all like that. It's not unbearable by any stretch of the imagination, but if I own this for my own personal use, I would probably take it apart and back that detent off just a little bit. But lockup is very good, centering is very good, and it is very drop shutty. Absolutely, that really smooth ZT action you want. This is every bit of that in a bag of chips. It is very smooth and drop shutty. Makes a great sound. Let me shut up and do that. Great sound. Really like it. And yeah, very, very, very drop shutty. So what are my overall conclusions? That hole though, I don't hate the way it looks. And again, as I said, I don't hate the look of the Tan G10. A lot of people hate the way it looks. People have made vulgar comments about what it looks like, but I'm not going to go there. But it does expose the bearings inside there. So that is not great if you're going to... I don't think it's going to affect 95% of the people who use this, but if you are going to use this as a big, heavy user and you're out and about in the dirt and stuff, I don't really see the reason for that. I know they just did it for aesthetics, and maybe it lightens the knife up a little bit, but I'd rather see this closed up, have the knife look a bit more boring, and have spent that time in the mill cutting those holes into milling out the lock side and making it a bit lighter, because there is, I don't know if this doesn't come across on camera, there's milling on the show side in there, in those liners. There's plenty of milling in there. There is none, zero, on the lock side. I would have rather seen them mill this. I mean, it's milled on the outside, obviously, but I'd rather seen them put more work into milling it out, you know, on the inside. I think that would have been much more effective use of their time, but that's just me. But it's overall, I do like it a hell of a lot more than I thought I was going to from the pictures. I didn't even like make an attempt to get one of these. I was asked if I wanted to buy USMA blade, and I said, sure, I guess I'll check it out, and was expecting to thoroughly dislike it, and I don't. I actually do really like actually using it, because it's very comfortable, great blade, pretty satisfying action, all that stuff. I just wish they didn't do the hole. I wish the detent was a bit softer, but again, that might just be a tolerance issue. Yeah, zero tolerance. and I wish it was a bit lighter and a bit cheaper. $300 is a lot for something with a G10 on it. Some people are just going to automatically reject it because it's $300 and G10. But like I said, G10 is a good material for the purposes this thing is meant for. Probably better than carbon fiber or whatever. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this. I definitely enjoyed playing with this knife, and thank you again to US Made Blade for making sure I got my hands on one. And yeah, you'll see it in a battle to the death or something before it goes away. You know, if you want to do a 3-way or just against the 80-10 or just against the Benchmade, we'll see. But let me know in the comments. Maybe we'll throw a shaman in there too. I've been Brian. Have a good one.